Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Minnesota Vikings, led by their new quarterback, Kirk Cousins, as they get set to take on Sam Darnold and the New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. Now, they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
The Vikings' top 2 receivers match up with any pair in the NFL, and I'm talking about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And how about this? Both underdog success stories. Diggs, a 5th rounder in 2015. Adam Thielen, undrafted in 2014. Now they're helping set the pace for wide receivers in the league.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's number 1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. And it's incomplete. We're going to look now at the defense for the New York Jets. It's quite a unit, number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Throwing is Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Cousins now. And that's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Carlson able to put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
It's a foot race. The 30. The 20.
Let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Jason Myers now for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A good pickup there, a 22.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Quick strip, the ball's out. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Holding offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Third and long for Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a first carry for the former Cleveland Brown, Isaiah Crowell. Quick feet by Crowell. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Isaiah Crowell, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Here's Myers now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On second down, Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it the rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit. And sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
Here's Brad Wing now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This will be taken at the 10. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out now come the Jets. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A give. This is Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A 1st down throw for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Boy, another example there of how you've just got to be fearless to go over the middle in this league.
No doubt about it. And if you want to be known as a Pro Bowl type of a receiver, if you want to get to the Hall of Fame, you're going to have to make a good number of catches in that area. And how about the hit he took from the linebacker? That's where you really make it because A lot of times that hit is coming from behind you, from over the top by a safety. In this case, it may well come from underneath with the linebacker dropping out from the middle.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Now Darnold. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jermaine Kurz, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 15 now. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. But he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start right here in the Sunshine State as we head to South Florida to check on Detroit and Miami. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. LeGarrette Blount accounting for the lone scoring thus far as he's cashed in with a touchdown run. Next, we'll stay right here in the Sunshine State. Head up to Tampa to check on the Bucs. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. The Browns hoping to shake off a rough first month as a victory could get them back to 2-4. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Rex Burkhead, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, second quarter in Indianapolis. And the Bills have now opened up a 2-touchdown lead with Sean McCoy, a first-half touchdown. Second half begins with a run by Crowell. And some space here. Shreds it with a stiff arm. Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Isaiah Crowell with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The extra point now coming from Myers. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Cousins finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They pitch it out to Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's Darnold. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Darren Lee there to get him down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a 1st down. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. A toss to Cook. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. Different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota 1st.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now Cousins, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jordan Jenkins in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing, Cousins, and Diggs has it. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Cousins to throw it. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Again, it's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jermaine Kearse. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Here we go.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
One last shot now for Cousins. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal. Win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Jets, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.